Oh, payment, yeah. Yeah, that's right. 130 of the monthly rent. Is that right? Okay. So we're going to continue on the paragraph 3D, the rent, a D, and the payment. The rent shall be paid. You can pay the payment on personal check, money order, or cashier check. Make payable to definitely either landlord or whoever in charge, the name. So those are, basically what you're looking at. You can, put on the landlord's name or whoever, you're gonna need to pay for. Sometimes it could be if the foreigner, they have the French here, and somebody help them to manage. Remember that we cannot and we don't manage the property. If you manage, you know where to go. Certainly, you don't. Our broker will fire us. That's for sure. No management. You can only do up to rental. Find a tenant, that's fine. Collect the first moving cost, and that's it. Your job is done. You don't collect the rent every month, and you don't manage. If you manage, I know you'll get fired. That's from the day one when I joined this, company. Yeah. And the other one, or you can wire electronic transfer. Usually I put other, like what? Direct deposit. So that's, we help our client. So they don't have to collect the rent. We don't have to collect the rent. Make the tenant make the online deposit, or they drop the check into their branch, the bank. Deposit directly to the landlord's account. So you put it right here, and others, you can put direct deposit. You can check right here, and you can put direct deposit. Okay? Put it right here on direct deposit. And right here on the D2, a rent shall be delivered to name. You know what? This one doesn't have the copy. Let me go ahead and get the other one that has what I wrote it in so you guys can see it. Let me go ahead and change different transaction. Let's see here. 1820. Okay, fine. Save. Not stop. Stop. Stop scripting. Dang. They make a screen smaller. It's okay. I'll bring it back. Don't worry. Because bring the back 100%. Okay. Go this one. So you can see what I put month to month. Okay. So this one, residential lease and month to month rental agreement. Good. Stuck again? Okay, cool. See, look at right here. Certainly, those are contained on the privacy information. You guys can just look at it. That's what I did. You can put on the landlord's name, and you can either wire or electronic transfer, and you do other direct deposit. You put landlord's name, their bank account number, their routing number, and who to contact with, and the mailing address. Because this particular property, the owner is in Taiwan, so it's a foreigner. She have her friend to actually manage with it, but the check is still deposited to her account. So that's what I did. The mailing address, the phone number is actually her friend's phone number, but the account is actually it's a landlord's account. And also you continue or any other locations subsequently specified by the landlord in writing to tenant, and or if the check rent may be paid personally between the hour on what time to what time or following day. If it's a property management company, certainly the tenant has a choice to go to the management company office to pay the rent directly. 3, if any payment is required to non-sufficient fund, so if they bounce check, all right, or because tenant stop payment, then after that, the landlord may, in writing, require the tenant to pay rent in cash for 3 months, and or if all future rent shall be paid by money order or cashier check. Once the check bounce, you lose the privilege. You pay the personal check. You may have to pay all cash. I know some of the bank, they don't collect, cannot deposit cash. Then you gotta have to buy the money order or cashier check to pay. So that is a landlord's and the agreement, the choice of the before they move in. You actually give the new tenant as a warning. If you the check is bounced. If I do the direct deposit, usually, okay, if the check bounce, then definitely you will collect the money. Same thing. But if the check bounce, then you have the right to collect all cash. Okay, the next 3 months. Then if you don't want to pay, collect the money order or cashier check, then you don't check on it. But if you do, you can certainly check on it if you want to, like this. Okay. Then E, the rent payment received by the landlord should be applied to the earliest amount due or past due. What's that supposed to be? Some of the landlord, they never serve the tenant 3-day notice or quit. That means if the after the grace period, 5-day grace period in default, and the they didn't serve, then the 3-day period or quit and just continue to delay, maybe a month later. Well, finally, if they say they didn't pay March rent, today is 5th. Okay, so usually if the first day is a due day, 5-day grace period up till today, 5th. Tomorrow, the landlord has a right to charge late charge. But if you landlord didn't really give a 3-day notice, and the tenant say, okay, they just continue to stay there and without paying the rent. By the time on the April, they pay the rent again. But that April rent is not actually paid for April. It's paid March. So the April rent still late. That's why they say it's the earliest amount due or past due. So when the tenant paid the April rent, oh, why you charge me the late for April? I did pay it on April 1st, yes, but you did not pay March rent. So I can charge you the April rent. It's still rent. It's late. It's because whatever you pay is toward paying to the March rent. So that's, for the 3E. So if you want, you can explain to the tenant, right? And I have the client that say, hey, James, I forgot to notify them for 2 months. What? What should I do? I said, call them up. Have them catch it up. Serve them a notice. Otherwise, we got to go through the eviction process. But before you go through the eviction process, then you got to have to serve them the notice. Without serve that 3-day notice, attorney cannot do anything. Or you got to make attorney to serve that, it costs you more. That's it. You can have attorney do everything. It's a form. It's a zip form. They call it a 3-day notice correction. They have one is for correction, one is for payment. Correction is like something if they live, they share the bedroom to someone else, like the sublease. Or they tell you it doesn't have a pet, and they end up they have a dog, a cat, like coming in. I say, well, you have if the landlord doesn't want to collect the pet's rent and just grant it the tenant, and that means consider as a breach of contract. Either you correct it, that means I'll give you 30 days. You let the dog or cat be removed from the premises, or you remove. Tenant, you get out. Yeah, because you consider breach of contract. Do you think it's a breach of contract? Can you get your security deposit back? Yeah, you lose them. Yeah, and they may after you for whatever the damage may be to the small claim court. So if you do have pets, just tell the owner honestly. Don't try to hide it, because eventually we'll find out. Especially if, usually single family, probably a little bit harder. But if you're townhouse, neighbor will talk. Neighbor will talk to HOA, for example. And homeowner associate, they have a way to find a landlord, the owner, right? The owner say, hey, wait a minute. Your dog is barking and it's too noisy. And neighbor complain. You look at, go back to, wait a minute, where's the dog coming from? Then you talk to tenant, oh, yeah, my friend give me a dog. So I just, I said, well, if your friend give you a dog, you're going to have to let me know. Then you got to ask my permission. Either I grant you to have a pet or no, you cannot accept the dog. Otherwise, consider breach of contract. Because when you apply for this, when you look at the unit or application, when you apply for any rental, you'll see that if the landlord allow pets or not. And sometimes they allow they do allow pets, but they do consider what size of a pet or what kinds of pets. Sometimes particular dog, they just cannot have it. Because when you have dog, especially like pit bull, some of a landlord, oh no, you really want to have pit bull? Show me your insurance. Pit bull's insurance not cheap. Whole lot better, whole lot more than the renter insurance. Yeah. Even I know California have a free bite, but the first free bite, that's an expensive bite. But I mean, that usually you don't want those troubles. So if you know it's a pit bull or something, aggressive dog, you rather, say, sorry, why don't you buy a house? You can do whatever you want when you buy the house. Yeah, but for rental, landlord doesn't want to have more trouble and get lawsuit by pedestrian, the people that walk on the sidewalk, or neighbors, bit by the dog. Because I know when I see pit bull, it's like they are pretty mean. I have one rental property I remember is in Chino, and neighbor has a pit bull. But boy, every time I show the property, boy, that dog is mean. And look at it through the chain link, Oh, I hope you don't jump over here. 4, for the security deposit, tenant agreed to pay the total security deposit. Usually a smaller unit or the house, I charge 20 as 1 month security deposit. Like this one, it's a townhouse. I charge the rent is $22.50. But why the security deposit $24.50? I also charge them $200 key and remote deposit, just in case they lose the key. And that's why we have a breakdown right here, paragraph 5. See, that's a breakdown. Okay, so you guys can, see, you can do the breakdown for security deposit and the keys. And especially on this one, I just rent it out and I do the proration. Usually what I did the proration based on what? How many days a month? 30. Doesn't matter which month. 30 days, 1/30 of the rent. Okay? Whoever want to rent in February, too bad. Okay? They lose 2 days, no matter what. Although find other months to rent. You find March. Okay, you gain 1 day. Okay? But sooner or later, we'll get back because the whole year's lease anyway. So this one, I do the proration. Remember, how we do the proration from if it's March 22nd. How do you do it though? My way, what I did, I don't do it, some tenant agent may challenge you. Wait a minute. You're starting on 22nd. So it should be 22nd to 28th. How many days? 7 days. No. It's 9 days. Why? Because I deducted 30 days to 21. You pay 9 days rent. That's how they come out. I say, I'm sorry. Your tenant want to rent it this month? That's the way it is. Yeah. I deducted, for how many days you did not use it. Not, calculated on the days, because it's $75 per day. If you look at $22.50 divided by 30 at $75 per day, 2 days, that's $150. Boy, how many lunch I have? You think that's still, it's a, you pay, you know, like this one, you paid about 2/3 of HOA fee already, 232 of this community, then $150. Yeah, it's not cheap, 2/3 already. So that's, you know, how you come out with the breakdown. We go back here. And as a security deposit will be transferred to held by the owner of a premises. We give the security deposit to the owner. We don't keep it. Our brokerage doesn't keep it to held in the owner's broker trust account. We don't. Because first of all, we don't manage. Why we keep it in our trust account? The only thing you keep a trust account is a property management company. They keep it their trust account. The property management company, they also is a real estate brokerage company. But sometimes, why, on the other hand, personally, I don't recommend the owner give the property and managed by the property management company. Why? Property management company may schedule deal sometime down in the road. If the seller wants to sell it, who will probably know the first? Property management company. Seller may not notify you. You are the buyer's agent. Why? Been there, done that. Good thing property management didn't get sold. I'm the second agent. Yeah. Otherwise, hey, if they, on the first, 3 months, if they sold it, hey, deal's gone. It's my client. Yeah. And the property management, I didn't really refer them. It's just a owner, they found a property management company. But what I can tell you, most of us property management company pretty sneaky. They may steal your client. But I do have those for property management. They will have you issue the amendment and they sign for it. We would never steal your client. If they want to sell, we notify you right away. Okay. Okay, let you manage. Yeah. Some of the honest management company, they think they make enough on management fee. They don't have to steal your client. And that's how they can earn our trust through an agent. So we can be comfortable to tell our client and we refer them the business. Otherwise, oh no. Yeah, we can issue the amendment, let the management company decide. Never steal my client. It happened. Okay. B, all in all portion of the security deposit may be used by the reasonable necessarily to or one cure tenant default in payment of rent, which include a late charge, non-sufficient fund, fee, or other sum due. 2, repair damage, excluding ordinary wear and tear caused by the tenant or by guest, invitee, or licensee of tenant. Okay, we'll stop right here. The security deposit you can use for the repair damage, but exclude ordinary wear and tear. Like what? What is considered wear and tears? Roof, it's always landlord. Roof's always landlord. Put it in general. Carpet, door, that's always landlord. Okay. Carpet, faucet, wear and tear, you think, right? Yeah, it is. But your landlord. I know you think they say, oh, why? Wow, landlord paid a lot. It is. Landlord do pay a lot. If any leak, plumbing, still landlord. Huh? Water heater, yes, still landlord. Paint, okay, that's considered wear and tear. That's it. Carpet and paint, consider the wear and tear. Depends if the within 5 years, still tenant pay for cleaning once they move out. But if over 5 years, you cannot charge tenant for. I know it's not in the real estate rule, but where's that? A consumer. index. They just a rule of thumb for like apartment rule. 5 years, even apartment, they cannot charge tenant if any damage of the carpet. It's over 5 years they live here. You make enough money. Right? Okay. Doesn't matter if you need to replace the whole carpet, you still cannot charge tenant. Okay. So do paint. If 1 year, if the tenant rented for 1 year, you can charge all of them, the tenant, for touch-up or whatever the damage may be. Damaged always, but touch-up, you can charge tenant 100%. But it's up to 2 years. Half. Half tenant, half landlord. They live here for 2 years, 3 years, or over 3 years, all landlord. Over 3 years or over 3 years, it's all landlord's expense. You make enough money, just like carpet. Carpet is 5 years. Paint, 3 years, all landlord. Okay. But can you charging the cleaning fee? Yes, always. That's not considered wear and tear. You make a mess, either you clean it up when I deliver to you. It's a clean property. I didn't tell you to clean the carpet or, the dirt, or the mark on the paint. I understand. It may happen. But if you drill the hole on the paint, you have to patch it. But you know what? You tell client, if you really want to patch it, okay, please help yourself. Just patch the hole and don't paint it, because you're not professional. What I have the experience is when they paint it, oh boy, different color. And the whole wall, I gotta have to repaint it. And it's gonna be argument. I say, wait a minute. I know I live in over 3 years. You just make the landlord pay more. You can just patch the hole, or you just leave the way it is. It's not your business anymore. I know you try to be nice, but actually you make a mess. Some of them, they don't even patch the hole. They patch a whole thing. They say they have to restucco. Oh boy, that's even more job, for the pattern. So if tenant, when they move out, it depends on how many years. Just let them know. For painting, it's all on landlord. Please leave the way it is. Just go. All we charge you is just cleaning fee for the professional maid cleaning. That's it. Okay? Unless you clean thoroughly, yes, then we won't charge you anything. Do I have those tenants before? Yes. I certainly look at it. They hired a professional to do the steam clean. Not you get the machine, you steam clean yourself. No, that's not enough. Professional, they have the huge, the truck coming in and the steam clean. That's powerful enough. Then if the steam clean is not clean enough, then not much you can do. Okay, because some of a stain is just cannot remove. But if they're thoroughly, really, really clean, then they hired a professional to clean it up, everything, so to touch up the paint. So actually, tenants show us how much they spend on the invoice. Fine, and we look at the property. Landlord satisfied, given full deposit back. We have that before. But most of a tenant, they always have something wrong with it. Okay. And they may argue with you. I already hired the people to clean. I say, well, can you have them to come back again? Do you think the stove is still greasy? Do you talk about it's clean? Especially the hood, usually if the Asian, when they cook on top of a cabinet, still greasy. Do you talk about that so they've been clean? How about inside the stove, inside the microwave? You tell them to come back and clean. Otherwise, I'm going to charge you for the rest of the cleaning, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Because usually, when we put on a listing, we all have photos, right? When you took the photos, obviously you can see it's clean. And on the moving checklist, what do? You have tenants sign for it. Everything has been satisfied, right? You sign it, you initial. Anything wrong with it, anything's dirty, anything is you write it down. Then it's not going to be you're responsible when you move out. But if you sign for everything is to be satisfied, then when you move out, wait a minute, this is not satisfied by landlord and tenant, you're gonna have to pay. 3, clean premises if necessary upon termination of a tenancy. Certainly you can charge them. Replace the returned personal property and appurtenance. Security deposit shall not used by tenant in lieu of payment of last month's rent. Usually I will highlight it. I tell the tenant, you cannot use the last month to pay your, you cannot use the security deposit to pay your last month payment. Because the security deposit is not exactly the deposit for the rent. What we can use the other word is more collateral deposit, your damage deposit. Not exactly your monetary deposit, your rent deposit. Okay, so it should be like a damage deposit or your collateral deposit. So that's why you cannot use a security deposit, okay, to pay your last month's rent. If all or any of a portion of a security deposit used during the tenancy, tenant agreed to reimburse the total security deposit within 5 days after written notice is delivered to tenant. This actually was there, but I know most of our landlords just like, too much hassle. Like what? Insufficient fund. Okay, their check bounce. Well, the landlord's account got deducted. Maybe what, $8, $10, maybe? Okay. And you tell the tenant to reimburse. If they do not reimburse, what do you deduct? Their security deposit. Make sure you make a copy. Okay? Or any violation of a penalty through HOA. If they receive any citation and they refuse to pay, put it in. You might, because of the after they cure and they correct it, but landlords already pay for the citation from HOA already. You deduct it, and the tenant refused to reimburse. So later on, when they remove, when they're going out, you show them everything what you owe. Okay? Don't tell me you don't know, because I told you to reimburse it, but you did not. You refuse it, and I'm going to deduct it through the security deposit. And also, within 21 days after tenant vacate the premises, landlord should 1, furnish tenant an itemized statement, indicate the amount of any security deposit received, and based on its disposition, supporting document as required by California Civil Code, and return any remaining portion of the security deposit to the tenant. So you gotta have to show them an invoice. So same thing, landlord, you don't get cheap. Oh, can I clean the house myself so I can charge the tenant whatever, couple $100? Please don't do that. Can you issue the invoice? Right? So you hire the professional painter, professional carpet cleaner, professional maid cleaner, so they can issue the invoice. You attach those invoice, make a copy, and show the tenant when you return their security deposit. So they will not have an argument with you. Or any damage, maybe. When you damage, you hire the handyman or contractor, do the repair, and also show them an invoice. Sometimes they almost got nothing left. Yeah. But same thing, 21 days, you have to return whatever the remaining deposit. D, no interest will be paid on security deposit unless required by local law. So whatever the collective, the deposit, we don't pay the tenant interest. E, if the security deposit is held in owner, tenant agreed not to hold broker responsible for its return. If the landlord doesn't return the deposit to tenant, can they sue broker? No. That's what they're telling you. So you got to hold harmless, okay? It's not our responsible. If the landlord doesn't return the deposit, hey, tenant, all you can do is just bring the landlord to small claim court. You don't bring us to the court. Our job is When we find the tenant, you both signing the lease agreement, here's a key, here's a check, our job is done. We are not the property management. So that's why we don't collect any security deposit or any further rent. If the security deposit is held in the owner's broker trust account, and broker authorized to terminate before the expiration of the agreement, and the security deposit is released to someone other than tenant, then broker should notify tenant in writing where and who security deposit has been released. Once the tenant has been provided such notice, tenant agreed not to hold broker responsible for the security deposit. Okay. If you are the property management, assuming you do the property management and the security deposit is not returned directly to original tenant, what's that supposed to mean? What kinds of situation may happen like that? I'll give you the scenario. Say like if you say rent it out for college student, which I don't want usually. On my deal, no. Hey, some people will lease to the, for individual or maybe college student. And the college student, they may move out after the school year over. So your original 4, it become a different 4 at the end, or different, or it could be mixed, whatever. Okay, maybe 2 still original, 2 is already gone, and we keep on submitting all different, amendment. And what happened is whoever move in, they pay the security deposit to the whoever moving out already. So when we return it legally, we should return all 4 original tenants. But unless we get the addendum, writing say we got to changing, so the security deposit we got to refund it to whoever, okay? On all different person. Or the other scenario, what I have I dealt with before is when they move in, boy, lovely boyfriend, girlfriend. When they move out, oh boy, one is already moving out, the other one, I cannot afford it, so I have to move. I say, well, then security deposit, I gotta have to put both names. Oh no. Well, what do you mean no? You guys are starting with 2 names. I cannot just give it to boyfriend or girlfriend. It's not fair. If you really want to, you guys have I know you guys hate each other, fine. You gotta show me the black and white paperwork, or you tell me what to do. Then I'll put an addendum. You guys can sign it. Who should I return the deposit to? Either boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. Then if you guys have agreement, that's fine. So that means you can sue me later on. That's all. What's the bottom line? Protecting ourselves, broker. Okay. You think the client, they are your best friend? No. Oh, myself, they can turn around to sue you on the back. All right? Even your best friend. If you didn't practice properly, who knows? They may sue you anyway. Yeah. Because they consider doesn't want to be your friend anymore. So that's why a lot of friends or relatives, they don't do the business. That's why. And as always, I'm telling those clients, I say, look, you can fire me anytime if you're not happy with me, but you cannot fire your friends or relatives if they are your broker. It's going to be tough unless you don't want to anymore. You don't want to have any more relationship with them. Then you can fire them. You just, but you can fire me. No hard feeling. It's okay. Because we are still stranger. We're the business, partner. You can fire me anytime. So no hard feeling. I understand. If you don't like me, fine. It's okay. I don't tend to please everyone anyway. So that's why when we're starting any business with a buyer or any with the listing with the seller, you gotta not only they qualify you. Did you ever qualify your client? Because if you can foresee they are not your type, then I may be referred to my coworker. Why don't you take care? I collect the referral fee from you. They're not my type. I mean, I'm still making money, but I mean, I don't think they're my type. And if you can make it happen, that's great. You know, and I get a referral fee. If not, no hard feeling. It's okay. Yeah, we can always have finding more leads. But I rather we only have 24 hours a day. I rather for whoever they will cooperate with me. If they every time they against me, I say, then why you hire me for? Yeah. We're supposed to work together to get the job done. Doesn't matter helping to purchase a property or sell your home. Not fighting against each other. Then if we have an argument to begin with, then I can foresee down the road. Oh no, we have more argument. Paragraph 5. The moving costs and received due. So the moving fund shall be paid by, I will usually ask for a cashier check. Certainly you can pay for money order. You can go to the 7-Eleven or the post office, buy the money order. I would never take the personal check unless the only thing I would take the personal check is their moving date. It's way back. And I don't give you pay the money first, but I don't give you the key until the check is clear. Then it's okay. I'll accept the personal check. Okay. But if you want a key right now, right away, please pay money order or cashier check. Okay. Or you wire the money. Show me the receipt. Then I'll give you the key on the spot. Then if you allow like a pet deposit, you can put other. You can say pet and what deposit you're going to charge. Usually I charge a pet per pet. Well, not the first pet, not per pet. First pet, I charge $500. Second, like if you have 2 dogs, $800. 3, I'll probably forget it. Too many. 1 dog, 1 cat is okay. 2 dogs, 2 cats. Ooh, too many. Okay, but not only that, if the your client is the landlord, can you increase the rent for pets? Yes, you could. Pets rent. It's not pet deposit. But can you collect both? Pets rent and deposit? As long as tenant agree. Been there, done that. I have all kinds of situations. Yes, I have just a pet deposit or just a rent, increase the rent, or I have both. Pet deposit and $50 more on the rent for 1 dog. And as long as tenant agree, fine. Because that's what landlords want. Landlord originally doesn't want pets whatsoever. But the tenant's begging. You charge me whatever, I'll pay. You sure? Okay. Tenant said, okay, I'll charge you $500 pet deposit and $50 more on the rent. Okay. All right. That's done. Deal is done. Yeah. The maximum amount of security deposit, however, designated cannot exceed 2 months rent for a unfurnished premises or 3 months rent for the furnished premises. I know some of it, the listing agent, they may challenge me and say, as long as tenant agree, I can collect any months of rent. Well, then, I don't know. I say, well, can you supersede on this? The default, right here. Can you supersede that? I don't think so. Put it right here. There's an asterisk sign here. There's an asterisk sign here. What's that telling you? We cannot change it. Who made this form? Attorney. So if you collect more than what it should be, you may, if the tenant later on found out they've been ripped off, and they may after landlord. And landlord, if they don't give their deposit back, or who knows, tenant may sue the landlord because you charge them more than what's supposed to be. If they thoroughly, or their friends telling them, how many, we've been charged for 6 months security deposit. What? Well, it's not commercial property. It's a residential. Commercial, you can charge whatever you want, not against the rule. You can charge 6 months, you can charge 10 months, a whole year. Nobody against it as long as tenant agree. But not here. This is a residential. We gotta have to play by the residential rule. The residential is like cookie cutter. You do have a boundary. You just cannot go out the boundary. Okay. Commercial always work outside the boundary. Anything is wild. So it's different. So residential property, you gotta have to work within the boundary, and you rather don't break the rule, okay? Because what happened in California, who they protect is whoever live in the property, tenant. Okay. So tenant actually have more rights than landlord. And if you don't like this rule, fine, go out of state. Go to Nevada, next state. They are more protected than landlord than tenant. Their eviction process is a whole lot faster in California. California need about 3 months. Over there, less than a month, sometimes a couple of weeks. Ooh, that's quick. Yeah, then go. But what happened? I know a lot of people like to invest in property in Las Vegas. Been there, done that, not anymore to me. Why? Because the ownership in Vegas, over 40% are they're from California. So that means the owner, most of owners, they are from California. What do? Do you think they use it? What did they do? Rent it. Then what do you mean? Wow, 40% of rental property? Well, I cannot say exactly 40%, but close. That's a lot. And they have probably more tendency. You cannot really collect the rent. First month you pay on time. Second month start late. Third month no rent. They move. Next. Oh, they got evicted. Fine. Next house. Same thing. They play play landlord. You know, tenant actually playing landlord every 3 months or every half year. Hey, look. I always have some, the place to live in. What can you do? And some of the landlords, when they got vacant for a long period of time, they don't care who live in anymore as long as somebody paid the rent. But they forgot. They probably pay the first month's rent, second month's rent, starting third or fourth. Whoa, okay. They start missing. Yeah. Because that's my experience. When I want to increase the rent, tenant, I say, oh, I'm going to move. And when I look at the market rent, man, for 10 years, I cannot even increase $50. When I invest here, 10 years, I double the rent. Over there, I cannot even increase the rent. Why? I learned from the hard way. The good thing I make money on the real estate before the financial crisis. Okay? Otherwise, I'm losing whole thing. When the financial crisis plunged, actually, when they go to the lowest market price, that is actually lower than when I invest way back to 1999. That bad. Yeah. When like year 2010, their pricing is worse than what I purchased in 1999. Okay, late charge. Okay, so you gotta have to educate your tenant. Let's do it right here. Tenants acknowledge either late charge or the rent or insurance of the return check may cause landlord to incur the cost and expense, the exact amount of which are extremely difficult and impractical to determine. Well, because every bank charges differently, when a bounce check. This cost may include, but are not limited to, processing, enforcement, accounting expense, and late charge imposed on landlord. If they have a management company, probably gonna wasting more time on those accounting department. If your check is bounced. If any installment of the rent due from tenant
is not received by landlord within default, it's 5 calendar days after the date due. So if our due date is first, that 5 days is considered grace periods, like mortgage. But some of it, tenant, they never know what's the grace periods mean. You tell them, did the credit card company give you the grace period? No, not at all. No. Then, can you reduce the grace periods to 0? Sure. Some of the landlord they change to 0. So that means the due date I have to receive the rent. I won't give you any grace period at all. Or sometimes they change it 2 days. Can they do that? Yes. And also, the tenant should pay the landlord respectively an additional sum of whatever, how much on the late charge. Sometimes, I usually figure it out 5 to 6% of the rent as a late charge. Some of the landlord, it could be charged up to 8 or 10%. It's their choice, as long as tenants agree. Or the rent due to the late charge and $25 as a non-sufficient fund fee for the first return check, and $35 as a non-sufficient fund fee for each additional return check, either or both, which shall be deemed additional rent. So not only you got to pay late charge, $25 as a $25 non-sufficient fee for the first return check, and $35. We don't deposit second time, but just in case you deposit, and the bank will allow you to deposit second time. And if you bounce again, $35. No, if we bounce once, we don't. We just, I say, look, either you got to pay the cashier check or cash. Okay, whichever. I'll take it. But that means the grace period, when you talk about a grace period, that means after the due date, for example, there's a 5 days, 5 calendar day. For example, if the March 1st is a due date, 5th, today, okay, the landlord must receive, okay, you gotta have to educate the tenant. You don't pay the rent today. If you want to pay the rent today, you go to deposit to the bank right away. I want to see the deposit slip. Because the landlord, they can see whoever deposit today has a record. If you really want to wait until the last day to deposit, you go to the bank. If you do the online banking, usually, for example, online banking, it may take 3 to 5 days. For example, Wells Fargo take 5 days. When you do the online checking, online banking, 5 days to the other party's account. So if you really wait until the very last day, you better go to the counter, deposit to landlord's account, to teller physically. Otherwise, landlord can have a right to charge you the late charge until tomorrow. You gotta have to deposit today. They gotta have to see the money. Let's not even say is it going to be bounced or not, but the money has to be ready. You have to deposit by today. And some people, if they really, really, even during the weekend, some of the bank, they open a supermarket, inside a supermarket, they open on Sunday. If you get lucky, if you're banking with is that Bank of West? They have it in State of Brother, or like East West Bank, they're in the 99 Ranch Market. You can still banking on Sunday. So one time I got a tenant say, "Oh, we can sign in on the lease agreement on Sunday." Yeah, but how can you get cashier check? We got it. Where do you get it? Oh, State of Brother. Which bank? Oh, Bank of West. I think it's Bank of West. Oh, okay, sure. They issue the cashier check on Sunday. Great. After church, they come over, sign the paperwork, give us a cashier check. Okay, we're done. I can help with the key to you. So B, landlord and tenant agreed on this charge represent a fair, reasonable estimate the cost landlord may incur by the reason of a tenant late of a NSF payment. Any late charge of the NSF fee due shall be paid with the current installment, and the rent landlord acceptance of any late charge or NSF fee shall not constitute a waiver as to any default of tenant. Landlord right to collect the late charge and the NSF fee shall neither be deemed an extension of a date rent is due under paragraph 3, nor prevent landlord from exercising any other rights and remedies under this agreement and as provided by law. So basically what I'm telling you, let me give you the scenario. If the tenant pay the rent but not in full on the first, and they tell you, oh, on my second rent, I gotta have to pay you middle of a month. Can landlord charge the tenant late charge? Yes, because you did not pay in full. Okay.
So that's why I say if any installment of the rent due to the tenant is not received by the landlord within 5 days after the due date. So that means including whatever the installment. If you didn't receive by the 5th of a day on the grace period, then they definitely you have the right to charge right here.
Paragraph 7, parking. Parking is permitted as a follow. Like this one, we have a 1-car garage and 1 assigned parking space. Okay.
Or if you have like it's a single family, it could be
2-car garage. I will put a 2-car garage or 3-car garage,
and depending on do they have a driveway or not. If he has a driveway, say okay plus a driveway. I will write it over there.
The right to park is included in the rent charge pursuing the paragraph 3. If not including in the rent, the parking rental fee shall be additional.
Whatever the fee may be per month. Some of the area maybe like what? If you have the condo, like high-rise building in downtown LA, well, parking is not included. Because sometimes that building is over 100 years old. They don't even have a basement for parking. So
the residents over there, they gotta have to find the nearest parking. They pay for the monthly parking on their own expense.
Yeah.
So that's why
most of them is included. We are really, fortunate here. The parking, all including, from either garage or the driveway or side parking, carport. Parking space are to be used only to park properly registered and operable motor vehicle. Why they call register? How about unregistered? Well, we don't park stolen vehicle, do we?
Okay. Or register sometimes is like they don't pay the registration fee because they don't operate it anymore. So that means you don't park those as storage car.
Yeah.
Or any antique, but I know some people, they may probably still hide it in the garage anyway. Okay. Or and except the trailer, boat, camper, bus, and truck, other than pickup truck. So that means you cannot really, I know some of it, you cannot really park the boat or camper.
If it's, if the custom home, yes, then I'm okay with that. Because if they have an RV parking, they have a trailer parking, they can park the extra vehicle. That's fine.
Tenants should park in assigned space only. Parking space are to be kept clean. Vehicle leaking oil, gas, or other motor vehicle fluid should not be parked on the premises.
Certainly, you don't want to damage the concrete. So later on, who's going to be cleaning it? Okay, because it's really, really hard to clean. Even when if the oil stain has been parked there for a long, long time, almost impossible to clean it up. Yeah, on the concrete because they soak all the way in. Just cannot clean it. It looks dirty.
And the vehicle leaking, mechanical work, storage, inoperable vehicle or storage of any kind of not permitted in parking space or elsewhere on the premises except as specified in paragraph 8. Okay, so those are, you cannot really park, anything is not permitted. If like storing the car, okay, the antique, any mechanical working. Sometimes they park only a frame, some of a toy car. They love to during the weekend. They like to doing their own car. They build their own car. Wow. Yeah. Sometimes according to the lease agreement, you cannot. Okay, tenant cannot do that unless the owners allow. Or B, parking is not permitted on the real property of which the premises in a park. So some of a condo, if they don't have any parking space, you're gonna have to find your own parking. Yeah. Hold on. Storage. Storage is permitted as follow. If you do have a storage, if you have a shed, on the backyard or something, if you allow the tenant to use it, you can write it right here. The right to separate the storage is or is not include the rent charge pursuing the paragraph 3. If not include the rent, storage space fee shall be an additional. So if you, some people, you want to put on a storage, and they're gonna charge you extra fee, okay? Or whatever the month, just like the parking. Tenant should store only the personal property tenant own and shall not store property claimed by another or in which another has any right, title, or interest. Tenant should not store any improper packaged food, perish good, flammable material, explosive, hazard waste, or other inherently dangerous material and illegal substance. Okay, so those are you cannot really store to the premises. So usually I would say I mark it at B, except for the tenant's personal property contained entirely within their premises. Storage is not permitted on the premises. Suppose, when you live in, we don't really allow them, like say they rent the space, and what happened they did? They're using it as a warehouse to store the stuff. You find the storage area, store your stuff. Why you rent the property to make it as a storage? Yeah. I don't think it's going to be cheaper. Some people may rent the property, make it as the home office. Okay, I guess, as long as you apply for the permit or anything. Some people, they may just, using like the home office, some of a business, you can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Huh? You cannot put the sign, definitely. You just use the home office, and if the people visiting you and if neighbor complain, that you cannot stay there either. So basically, it's basically you using it as an office. Not sure it's going to be cheaper. If you just rent it, a space, some of office, they're fairly cheap. If there's smaller space, okay, it looks legitimate as an office. Unless you really want a place you can take a shower and sleep, then you rent it, at the condo or something, as your office to use, 1-bedroom condo or something. Yeah, I've seen that before. Utility tenant agree to pay for all utility and service and the following charge. So if any charges you want tenant to pay. So beside utility, okay, you gotta have to say if the single family, I know trash, you want tenant to pay, so you mark over there. But this one is a condo, but the water is still paid by the tenant because this condo, they have a separate water meter. Why not? I know most of the condo water included, but not this complex. This complex, all utility, they have a meter, gas meter, electrical meter, water meter. All 4 units in one building, they have separate water meter. Okay? Then don't tell me it's anything. Oh, sometimes, you know why? It's because if any water leak, believe me, if this is tenant pay, tenant will notify you right away. If the community has a pay for the water, they may delay or something. If any leak, no big deal. It's dripping, on the faucet, or slowly. I didn't pay for it. Yeah, and landlord doesn't know if the tenant doesn't notify them. Yeah. Which shall be paid by the landlord if the all utility are not separated meter. Tenant should pay the tenant proportional share. But even if you have something like a unit, you only have one water meter. But if you want to make your client, make the tenant to pay for the water, then you gotta have to make a portion. Okay? You separate it. Here's a water bill and divide. It's a 4 units. I divide by 4, for example. Why we're doing that is because sometimes separated unit, they're still using this form because they only have 1 unit to lease. And property management company, they're still using this form because this is a California residential lease form. But they only have 1 water meter, then you may have to pay for the portion, okay, on that. Origin will determine and direct the landlord if the utility separated meter, tenant should place the utility in tenant's name as commencement date. So legally, tenant should place the utility in tenant's name as the commencement date. Landlord is only responsible for installing and maintain 1 usable telephone jack, 1 telephone line to the premises. Tenant should pay and the cost of a conversion from existing utility service provider. So usually, like the phone company, you may choose different phone company now, but hardly we use a landline now. But if you want to use a landline, all the landlord only responsible 1 landline. If anything more than 1 landline, if you want to use it, long time ago, like my house, you're running like the home office and I need 3 landlines. The good thing is the house is already designed for 3 landlines. So I running on my living room as the home office, then I can do it, 3 landline without converting anything. Just changing phone jack. Easy as that. And tell the phone company, hook it up the other 2 line. Okay, because your house is designed maximum for 3 line. Great. Okay, 9A, water submeter. If you do have a water submeter, that means who installed the water submeter? Usually landlord. So water submeter, if they install it on each unit outside there, the water, the main
while they're getting in. So you show the tenant how much you're using, and you charge it how, whatever the water fee may be. Okay. So those, if you do have a water submeters or water used by the premises measured by the submeter, then tenant will be separated bill for the water usage based on the submeter. See the attached water submeter addendum for additional terms. So those are something new. We don't have that before. This form, as you can see, has been revised by June 2018 last year. So this is fairly new. Also, gas meter. The premises does not have the separated gas meter. So if you do have a gas, and usually the gas, I don't think it has a separated gas meter. The only thing I've seen that the property at the most is a electrical meter. The premises does not have a separated electrical meter. I see the most is the electrical meter. Landlord have a sub-meter, hide it in the garage. When they do the additional, like the modify in the garage or the storage area behind the garage become 2 units. Hey, you guys are, if you get in the air conditioning system all day long, you pay, not landlord. So that's why they hide at a 2 sub-meter. So they show them, this is what you use, okay? Because they still have a main meter. That's the Edison company they charge, okay? All right. That's for most of the area. Some of the area they may not provide it by Edison, like Pasadena, they have their own electrical company. Yeah, it's not Edison. 10, condition of the premises. Tenant has examined the premises, and if any, all furniture, furnish, appliances, landscaping, and fixture, including smoke alarm, carbon monoxide detector. So those are, if you check, for anything, all apply. So the condition, those are the minimum. You gotta have to, the exam for the whatever the that's why we have a moving checklist. A, tenant acknowledge this item are clean and in operable condition with the following exception. So when you deliver the premises to the tenant, if anything is unclean or is not satisfied by the tenant, then you better list it. B, tenant acknowledge of the condition of this item and contain for the attached statement. We rather using this instead of the A. So we don't, usually I don't check A. It's not enough space to write in anyway. So I'm using the 5 pages we call memo. Move in, move out checklist. Memo. C, landlord will deliver to tenant a statement of a condition. So that's a memo. When do you need to turn in? Within, I'll give you 3 days. Within 3 days after the commencement date. So after you move in, I'll give you 3 days to do all the checklist, moving checklist. Because before you move in, it's sometimes hard to check, because I know you can check it, parameterly, you kind of take a look. Or just when you move in, signing the lease agreement, you can check whatever is only visually. But whatever leaking, not working item, you gotta have to move in before you check, like air conditioning, furnace, maybe shower, water, anything. So usually, like when the tenant move in, most likely, what I can see, every time we may have something need to repair if we just bought the property. Because believe me, seller doesn't really do the repair, especially they sold assets, condition, and we're beating each other for over 10 offers. They won't do anything except the minimum. Smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, and water heater straps. Those are minimum they will do. Anything, they don't even replace a light bulb. Okay? So whatever you want to do, before you rent it out, you gotta have to do minor repairs. Sometimes you gotta, as an agent, you gotta have to know kinds of cost how much. Probably painting, probably maybe the blind is not working or the light bulb is not working. Something minor repair, you gotta have to do the calculation. Some of it's old and maybe flooring, and you do the calculation to the investor. This is maybe how much you need to spend after we took over. Okay, so it could be from few thousand or something 10, 20,000 or even more, depends on how bad it is. So they can figure it out. Is it worth it, or how much should we offer to get this property?
So here's to give you the choice. Either within 3 days extension of this agreement. I mean, when you sign the agreement, 3 days, you gotta have to fill it in. Not exactly the commencement day. It could be before you move in. Or prior to the commencement day, that's before you move in, same thing, okay? Usually I mark right here. I'll give you 3 days after you move in. And return the memo within the time should conclusively to be deemed tenants acknowledge of the condition as starting in the memo. So you write it in everything. If anything is damaged, anything is not clean, anything need to repair, list it on the memo. I know it could be a laundry list. And none of the item may not be issued to be repaired because it's just a condition. So that's why I tell tenant, please write it more thoroughly. So later on when you move out, you ain't got no argument with the landlord. Oh, the tire's cracked, or it's a glass is chipped. Something, you write it on, okay? Because it's not a big deal. You can still use it, but it's not your fault. So later on, a landlord will not blame you to damage the property. So you gotta remember to collect memo from tenant, because actually, moving checklist, move out checklist, actually is really protect tenant. If any tenant doesn't fill it in, they're stupid. Because if they don't fill it in, that means assuming, oh, I give it all the perfect condition, brand new condition, you better watch when they return the property. Oh boy, yeah. Because you didn't fill it out. Then if you did not fill it out, I have to assuming everything is satisfied. Everything is perfect. No chip, no dirt, no crack. Wow. How can you do that? I don't think so. Any second-hand house, it's got something, always. You know, even crack driveway, you know, crack on the garage floor. Write it out. D, tenant will provide the landlord a list of items that are damaged or not in operable condition within, same thing, default 3 days. So if it's anything not working, dishwasher not working, but usually, you know, when we rent it out, as a listing agent, I'll test everything. Okay, even, you know, I know we just bought the property. I try to test everything, but when the tenant move in, I still miss something. I said, oh, okay, I didn't know it's leaking. No, when I tested it, it's not leaking. Well, then I guess it's leaking, and obviously when you move in, it just happened. What can I say? Fix it. Yeah. So I mean, usually on the first month, anything wrong with the property, landlord pretty much take care of everything. Yeah. But after the first month, then you start, you know, consider. So for example, if the drainage clock, who pay for it? I know this is always an argument. Later on, I'll cover that, but just give you the head start. See if you know, just common sense. What do you think? Drainage. Huh? Both are right. Both are wrong. Because depending on what stuff you pull it out. You know, when you get the snake, you pull out the stuff, right? If you pull it out with all the hairs, debris, tenant. If you pull it out as roots, landlord. Fair? Yeah. Because if the roots, that means somewhere, somehow, you know, they penetrate, get into the piping, you know, and that's not caused by tenant. It's natural. And that's a considered landscape. Then you got to figure out which tree, okay? Maybe you need to kind of, you know, go trim it down to the roots or cut the tree or whatever, you know, landlord you want to do. Yeah. I have the worst scenario is like the drainage actually, they keep on coming back. But when we go on a snake, for some reason, it didn't really pull out anything. But the water will backflow. Well, then we gotta really say, then what do we do? Then we really have to hire a professional scope. You know, using like the eye, you know, like the you know, they have a, yeah, for the video,
you know, snake to get in. Okay, so you take a look. What's wrong with it? Then we found out it's a soil problem for some reason. The drainage, usually the drainage, you know, at the older house, it's a ceramic. It's like the main drainage coming out from the house, you know, to the front yard, and the front yard has a drainage connected to the street, and they have a degree of the angle. But because of soil issue or something, it's not flat anymore. It's kind of backward. So you gotta have to, the water have to get a certain level before you can push it out. By the time you push it out, and easily to back up on the water, because they don't, and they clog up, you know, on the right here, keep on clogging up. And we cannot say, wait a minute, tenant say, I know I pay a couple of times already, and I know it's not me. Every month I almost like pay for it. I said, no, something wrong with it. So actually then end up, landlord, they found out the issue, spent about $5,000 to replace the drainage right here, all the way to, you know, why they cost so much? It's not a PVC pipe, you know, they replace PVC pipe. It's not because the PVC pipe is expensive, because you need to break the concrete. See that between the main house, you have a concrete area, and plus the front landscape, right? So how deep is it? About 6 feet, all the way. Yeah. Take it down, replace the whole thing. Yeah. Then you gotta have to cover all the concrete, put the soil back, everything, and connect it to the main drainage to the street. Then I tell the landlord, hey, look, you're good for another 50 years. Your money is well spent. You figure out only costs you $100 per year. When you really average out, yeah, 50 years, okay. For $5,000, $100 per year, that's cheap. That's why, you know, like the car salesman, when I start begin to start with it, I won't tell you, you know, how much exactly the total. I'll tell you how much for the payment. How much for your payment? Forget about whatever the window sticker. How much the payment? You can afford it. Yes. That's how we've been trained for 30 years ago. All right. Don't talk about the total payment. How much? Same thing. Can you do that to the buyer? How much for your monthly payment for your mortgage? Same thing. Okay, E, if anything other situation or whatever the condition, maybe, you know, you can put it right here. For if anything related under this category, condition of a premises, you can put other. Maintenance, use, and the reporting. Tenants should properly use, operate, safeguard premises, including, if applicable, any landscaping, furniture, furnishing, and appliances, and all mechanical, electrical, gas, plumbing fixture, carbon monoxide detectors, smoke alarm, and keep the premises clean, sanitary, and well ventilated. Tenant shall be responsible for checking and maintain all carbon monoxide detector and any additional phone line beyond one line and jack, and landlord shall provide and maintain. The tenant shall replace any burn out malfunction light bulb. How many people argue and say, who replaced the light bulb? Right here. Read it. Here's a lease agreement. Who replaced it? Tenant. Who's going to be maintain those detectors? Tenant. We don't lease you an apartment. If it's apartment, you call the apartment manager, come out. But sorry, we lease you it's not apartment. If you like to get an apartment room, then move back to apartment. Some people did argue with me on that. I say, I'm sorry, you lease a single family or it's a townhouse. It's not apartment room. You're gonna have to replace these items yourself. Do the proper maintenance. It's not anything wrong with it. You call the property manager or you call the management company. If you really want to use an apartment room, then please move back to apartment. Don't come out. It's different. Tenant should immediately notify the landlord in writing or any problem, malfunction, damage with any item, including carbon monoxide detector and small alarm on the property, tenant shall be charged for all repair and replacement caused by tenant.
So if you do anything modification or anything,
landlord has a right to charge it, okay, because tenant's responsible. Pet, guest, and licensee tenant, excluding ordinary wear and tear. So wear and tear item, what I just tell you, okay, painting, carpeting, okay. And tenant should be charged for all damage to premises as a result of failure to report a problem in a timely manner.
So for example, if a roof leak, a plumbing leak, you should notify the landlord at once. If you delay to notify the landlord and cause more problem, like what? Mold issue. Then that's why I talk to the tenant and say, look, if you have a leak, any leaking, roof leak, any plumbing leak, notify the landlord at once. So if it really happened on the mold issue, then it's not your responsible. But if you delay a week or 2 weeks later, when the mold grow, or even a month later, tenant, it's become your problem, not landlord, because landlord doesn't know until you tell them. But if you do not, well, certainly something you may not found out, for example, inside the wall. And especially if the inside the wall, and that wall, it could be behind, for example, like kitchen cabinet. You don't actually, well, there's a counter here. You don't really feel that there's a wall is wet or anything. Or it could be, say, in garage wall, if they have a dry wall or something like that. If that happened, then, we certainly doesn't blame them if anything an issue. But I mean, for example, laundry room is wet. Come on, the water coming out. You know it's wet, it's leaking. Yeah, you need to notify them right away. Not until like if you got a wood floor is damaged. Oh, landlord, your wood floor is damaged. Why? I don't know. Where is that? In front of a laundry room. Oh, come on. We know it's laundry room's leaking. What you can do, you can shut the valve, right? Yeah. If you found out anything leaking, I mean, did you ever get in a laundry room and the floor is wet? You know it's leaking, not because your washer and dryer leaking, okay? Sometimes maybe your washer and dryer leak, not exactly the faucet, but then we can have the professional to take a look to determine where it's leaking. Not until they damage your wood floor. Because those are the true scenario of what I'm telling you, because it's an argument, and somebody gotta have to settle something. Yeah, you gotta blame tenant and say, wait a minute, you say, oh, I never noticed. I say, huh? What do you think you never noticed it? Yeah. You say, well, you haven't using washer and dryer for a long, long time? Yeah. You just don't care. So those why, if any, the tenant should be charged for all damage of premises as a result of failure to report in a timely manner, and tenant should be charged for repair, drainage blockage, and stoppage unless caused by these defective plumbing parts of tree roots invading sewer line. So if any drainage has an issue, you show them this part. Unless it's the roots, tree roots, or any defecting plumbing parts. When I saw when I tell you the main drainage, the angle is different. Then that's defecting drainage, okay, parts. Only these two paid by the landlord. Otherwise, most likely is the tenant. And if the tenant keep on complaining, stopping and say, wait a minute, did you can see that they're never using the like a shower or any faucet. They didn't use the filter on that to stop if they hear or anything to get into the drainage. Then definitely you get clogged up. Yeah. If they are so lazy, you know what? Being a landlord, fine. I'll buy you this, but please, okay, use it. The drainage blocker, on this, basically you're using that, on the, so you can actually clean it up. So then you can save yourself some money. because those are pretty cheap. And you tell tenant, say, I'll buy this. But if you call me for more stopping, and if you don't use this, hey, look, it's all yours. I'm not going to do anything. How do you know? And then what I'm telling you, let's go and put it out. See what's that? If you put it out with all the hairs and debris, you tell me who paid for it. Yeah, right here. So that's why tenant should be charged for repair of drainage blockage and stoppage, unless caused by, okay, defective plumbing parts or the treat roots. That's it. So the if you thoroughly understand the lease agreement, actually, you definitely can reduce lots of the discrepancy and argument later on. Since this is a townhouse, so we didn't really mark here. This is, if it's a single family, what we usually do is we could be marked like tenant should water the garden, landscaping, tree, and shrubs. Then landlord shall maintain the gardening, landscape, tree, and shrub. That's fair. I'll pay for the garden. Tenant, you pay for the water. Okay. So usually that's a single family, I would say, trading on that. But some of the landlord, they're pretty cheap. Oh, no, wait. Landscape and water is all tenant. Well, as long as tenants agree, that's fine. Or if the lot is so big, tenant says, I'm not going to watering the whole lot. Okay, fine. Then how about I'll pay for the water. Landlord pay for the water and gardener. Yeah, it happened. Okay. But I mean, usually we just like one each. Just like, when you lease a huge custom home, the lot could be almost an acre. Well, look at the water bill. It's not cheap at all. It could be easily exceeding $300-400 a month. But so the landscape, the gardener is not cheap either. $400. Pick one, tenant. Yeah. Or anything like what else you need to maintain? Pool. If any house has a pool, then usually we have a landlord to maintain the pool instead of tenant, because we don't want pool become a pond. Yeah, then it will cost a lot. Not sure the security deposit enough to clean it up, everything, because you need to acid wash everything if a pool become a pond. So we don't allow, I don't recommend, I would tell landlords, I really tell you the truth, don't do that. You rather charge them a higher rent and cover gardener and pool service. Don't let them do it. Even the tenant say, I can do it myself. Sorry. So as long as you can give me a cheaper rent, then I can do it myself. Why? It's because sometimes we relying on gardener to take a look, because they can go weekly or bi-weekly, so they can see if the tenant is something wrong with it. Why? Because usually we have a gardener, there's all kinds of, I didn't say they take a peek inside the house, but sometimes, even from outside, then we found out one of the tenant, they put a canopy on the back. I say, okay, they put the tent. What they hide? So the gardener take a tent, they take a look. Oh, there's 20 pot of marijuana. Okay, they report a landlord. So landlord can say, look, who's marijuana? Okay, in the backyard. Oh, that's my friends. Yeah. Remove it. You cannot put the tent behind it. Disassemble. Right? Before it's more, the situation get more severe. So landlord can actually, relying on the tenant. They can inspect the house, once in 2 weeks, right? Or once a week. Landlord and tenant agreed the state of a local water use restriction and shall supersede any obligation of a landlord or tenant to water and maintain any garden
landscaping, tree and shrub, and pursuing to 11B, C, and 11D. I know the tenant needs to be responsible for watering, but when the water shortage, then you cannot blame tenants. You did not water. The landlord, you cannot do that. It's because it's a law. And when the water shortage, you have to cut it down, all the water, and the lawn may not be looks green anymore. Then if what happened there during that period and tenant move out, you cannot blame tenant and say, hey, look, you did not watering. No, because the water company, they can supersede because that's a state law. They will supersede on this lease agreement. F, tenant failure to maintain any item for which tenant is responsible shall give the landlord the right to hire someone to perform such maintenance and charge tenant to cover the cost of such maintenance. If some of the landlord, they do allow tenant to maintain their landscaping and maintain their own pool, if later on when they do the inspection of the house not doing the rent, can the landlord, can they see their own house anytime? Yes, as long as they give it 24 to 40 hours notice. Not until the end. Sometimes too late. So not only that, when you periodically inspect the property, then you also kind of give the tenants a warning and say, look, you have to maintain the property. Otherwise, I have right to come back, because when you sign this agreement on the first page, well, later I'm going to cover that. The landlord has a right to inspect your own house as long as I give you 24 to 40 hours notice. Then if you certainly, just like when the pool become pond, then you gotta have to say, wait, I'm no longer, I cannot use your service. I mean, tenant, you cannot maintain. I gotta have a professional to maintain. I'm gonna charge you for the cost, everything. G, the following items and personal property are included in the premises without warranty, and the landlord will not maintain or repair or replace them. For example, like what? Refrigerator, washer and dryer, you allow the tenant to use it, or it's broke down. Either landlord, you replace it. Either, if usually sometime it depends though, because certainly have no warranty. Then if you do allow tenant to use it, who's responsible? Most likely tenant will not pay for it anyway. You allow me to use it, right? So washer and dryer, if it's not working, who's gonna pay for it? Landlord. Oh, that's, seller give it to me, when I bought the property. Yeah. But we don't know, is it working or not? And if it could be sitting there for years, and certainly the tenant, they want to use it, it's not working later on. Either, then if that's the case, you better write it, clearly, or maybe you can issue the amendment if the washer and dryer broke down, you gotta repair by tenant. Some of the tenant, they do care on that. Oh, you want me to repair it? I say, okay, if you don't want to repair it, then, or replace it, the new one yourself, because since no warranty. So that's what you write here. So that's mean when you listed all the item, that means you tell tenant, I'm not gonna maintain, repair, and replace them. What's that telling the tenant? I'm not gonna do anything. If it's broke down, you have somebody to do the repair, or if it's not repairable, then you buy the brand new one, you replace it. Well, when you move out, you bring it along with you. That's yours. But I'm not gonna, because no warranty. I'm not gonna, do the repair and maintenance. So when you list it, so make sure if you do have refrigerator, washer, and dryer, make sure you list it right here. So it's not going to be landlord responsible to maintain, do the repair or replacement. H, tenant understand that if the premises is located in the common interest development, landlord may not have authority to control over certain parts in the premises, such as roof, electrical, gas, plumbing feature inside certain walls and common areas, such as shared parking structure or garage. So those are, if the townhouse condo, yeah, I mean, not much you can do because it's belong to HOA.
So you can only, the tenant can only notify either directly to HOA or notify landlord, so landlord can notify HOA because we cannot do anything. That's a common area.
I, tenants should not use the premises to plant, grow, cultivate, and sell
marijuana. I know it's legal,
but you cannot do it
in the residential area. So make sure you can highlight this area. I know some people, why not? It's legal. No. The lease agreement
specify telling you tenants should not use the premises to plant, to grow, to cultivate, and sell
marijuana.
All right, we'll stop right here. And
I'll come back, at the paragraph 12 on Thursday. Okay. Thank you for coming. Nice meeting you.